Hey everyone, welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal, and in this episode, we're talking about everybody's favorite head coach.
Mike Babcock.
Oh, no.
And that's the end of the episode.
Oh, no. No, we're talking about John Tortorella
Yeah.
of the Philadelphia Flyers, who everybody loves for his antics.
Mm-hmm.
And every player that's played for him seems to love to play for this guy.
Yeah.
It's just that his voice kind of tires out. So he's jumped around the league a lot. And, he's the coach known for getting blood from a stone.
Yeah.
And I think we just saw a biggest display of what his personality is like.
And I think it was warranted too, I would say.
If you missed the story, John Tortorella was ejected from a game and between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he refused to leave the bench.
Typical.
He yelled at referee Wes McCauley, saying...
also a beloved ref, by the way.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yelled at referee Wes McCauley, yelling, "I'm staying right here," on the bench. Eventually, he did yield and go to the locker room, but for his outburst, he was fined $50,000 and suspended 2 games by the NHL. Before the punishment was handed out, Flyers CEO Dan Hilferty said that he would pay any fine that was levied on John Tortorella.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like the Flyers themselves were fine with what his actions were.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on those actions?
You know what? Good for him. Good for him. In this day and age where there's a lot of just, let's say, a lot of just whining about things that are not right and be like, oh, just keep going. I'm glad this man is just standing for something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the NHL, we've talked about this time and time again, and the NHL just not standing for anything. Yeah. I'm glad there's somebody who has the balls to still do it in this day and age.
Having some passion, having some integrity for, I'm the coach of this team type of thing, And
I love that he said, I'm staying, well, he said it in a much more colorful language, but he said, I'm staying right here. Yeah. I love it. I'm glad he's standing his ground.
We should talk about what actually got him so fired up in the first place was his team was down 4-0.
Yeah.
Less than 11 minutes into the game.
Yes.
To Tampa Bay. And the argument he was having with the referee initially was that the fourth goal was on Tampa's power play, and Tortorella was arguing the tripping call that led to that power play. So this is a coach who doesn't believe that the ref got the call right, and he's sitting there and is arguing with it.
Yeah. And I mean, they also got burned by it too. Whether the call was good or not, that's, everyone's going to argue about that. But
I mean, you were already down 3-0.
Yeah.
How burned did you get?
Yeah. But I mean, it's adding insult to injury, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And, I'm glad he kind of stood his ground, but I think this is the first time I've ever seen a coach get tossed in the first period.
Yeah.
We've seen Sheldon Keefe get tossed, but I'm pretty sure it was
late in the game.
It was pretty late in the game.
Usually it's late in the game where the game has not gone well.
Yeah, it spiraled out of control. Yeah.
But usually when you have about 50 minutes left, you think no matter what the score, you have a chance to come back.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen some crazy comebacks over our years of watching hockey.
Yeah.
Even 4-0 would not be the first time we've seen that.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. In my opinion, the fine and suspension was a little soft, in my opinion. And when I say soft, I mean I don't know. If Torts is so adamant that this was a bad call and it screwed his team and led to not a fair opportunity, why isn't there accountability or even a post-game press conference from the refs themselves?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
This is what I kind of wanted to get to. Yes, it's funny and it's entertaining when a coach does this.
Yeah.
But I understand the need for a punishment because ultimately you are undermining who are supposed to be the rules enforcers, the refs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't have players and coaches start not caring what the refs do, because then that's just anarchy.
They have too much. Do they have too much power at that point? I mean,
see, this is the thing about being a referee, right? You don't want them to have too much power in the sense that they just bring the hammer down, but you can't have players and coaches not caring what they say either.
Right.
Right. So it's you need to walk this line of where they need to have that power, but not wield it.
Yeah. I think it's happened in the past too, where, refs would not, I don't want to say run away, but refs would realize they made a mistake, maybe a bad call early on in the game, and kind of give a soft call here and there to the other team to kind of just balance it out a little bit. Right.
Yeah.
But
But this is what I hate about NHL refs is they'll never admit that they made a mistake.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make here.
Yeah, like this is why Tort's yelling is not going to accomplish anything because Wes McCauley is never going to admit that he made a wrong call.
Yeah.
That's why there's no, like you said, post-game press conference or even statement from the referees.
Or fines or anything.
Yeah, because they will never admit that they made a wrong call.
Yeah. And which is shocking because like if players and coaches and whoever can get fined and the CEO has to step in to pay these fines and stuff, why doesn't it happen to the refs who are human and make mistakes and should face those sort of consequences,
And that's the other thing. Because the CEO made that comment of I would pay any fine, I think that's why Torts got the 2 games.
Really?
I think so. This is my tinfoil hat theory. Okay. I have no confirmation on this, but I think it was the ref saying, "Oh, Rea, you're just going to get around the fine? Then here, take 2 games. Get around that."
So they were just extra butthurt.
I think that's what it feels like to me.
So where's the accountability there?
When have we ever seen a coach suspended for arguing with the ref? It's always a fine.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, usually some fine, and the amount varies by judging on how offensive it was.
Yeah.
Suspended 2 games. That's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, I can't remember, or I can't recall the last time that happened. So
yeah, so this is like it's this referee is being like, no, I'm never wrong, and how dare you argue with me?
Yeah,
which is you can't have that either. So we're stuck in these 2 extremes where you have where you have coaches and players who are undermining what the ref is saying. And referees who are never admitting fault.
Yeah.
It's just 2 crazy extremes, and it's become a battle of emotion rather than a battle of
logic.
Actually getting the game correct.
Yeah. Yeah. It does feel a little bit almost like the refs, I'm saying, feel like spawns of like Gary Bettman. Because Gary Bettman himself doesn't really... I don't really want to say he takes accountability for when he messes something up.
Yeah, he never banned Pride Tape. What are you talking about?
Yeah, or even like the Arizona. Let's be real. The Arizona situation, dumpster fire, and he's still holding on to this for God knows what
for
reason.
However many years the Yotes have been there.
Yeah, but all of Quebec City is still pissed off at him for what I mean. Like there's no accountability at all whatsoever.
You know what I glanced today in the news headlines? That Atlanta has applied for a new NHL franchise.
Why? Just why? There's.
Speaking about never admitting anything was a mistake.
Yeah.
Let's do Atlanta a 3rd time.
Yeah. 2 times. Yeah. 3rd time's a charm. Yeah, for sure. That's the problem. God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You were saying about Bettman and accountability.
Yeah. Just, it basically feels like almost that, Bettman would meet with these refs before the game and be like, even if you mess up, don't say you messed up kind of thing. You know what I mean? Or just don't admit fault of any type. I was just, why? How does that it doesn't make the game better. It makes obviously that makes the coaches angry. There's fines thrown out for no reason. I feel like this is worsening the problem as opposed to finding a solution or a middle ground at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think we as hockey fans have a little bit of blame to take into this.
What do you mean?
Do you remember, it was approximately 5 or 6 seasons ago, where Wes McCauley went viral for his penalty calls.
The fighting and he like
that
the fists. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I remember it, but
we laughed a little too hard, and I think Wes McCauley's gotten into his head.
Oh, he got an ego.
How big of he is.
He got an ego.
I feel like every time there's a situation like this where it's some dramatic blow up, with a referee involved, why is it always Wes McCauley?
I mean, it's also Kelly Sutherland too, right? Like,
yeah, there's like a handful, like 2 or 3 refs every time, and in my personal memory, I remember McCauley.
Yeah,
I think we as fans gave him a little too much clout.
Yeah,
so
maybe he was a theater kid growing up.
Maybe,
and just hockey was a side thing. He just found the perfect balance.
I don't know, but we've led to this point where it almost feels like the referees feel like we're paying tickets to watch the refs.
Yeah.
Which I don't give it. I should not know your name.
Yeah.
Why do I know Wes McCauley's name?
Their names aren't even on the back of their jerseys.
I understand it's a thankless job, but come on, we're an adult here.
Yeah. Yeah. The ref should be theoretically invisible, excluding when they have to drop a puck for a face-off, right? Yeah. So
invisible in the point that I should not be able to point out individual refs. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I can in hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I didn't think about that, but maybe the tossing and the fine and all that, it might have
it's just putting
come
on
from a
place
of ego. Yeah,
just putting on a show.
Yeah. Wow.
Instead of
about
Stamkos, Kucherov, who is leading the NHL in scoring at some point and is bouncing around with McKinnon right now on who actually is leading. But yeah, I think we have to take a little bit of blame as fans on that one.
Okay, fair enough.
So
we'll take the L.
My B on liking that video.
Yeah. Should we send a couple of dollars to Tortorella?
Yeah, just contribute to the
CEO.
fine.
Yeah. A little GoFundMe action. Yeah.
Our bad.
Yeah, might be.
Let us know what you guys think about this situation in the comments below. If you like this video, drop a like on it. Hit subscribe if you want to see some more videos. We got about 3 episodes every week now. Yeah. So subscribe, follow along. If you're listening on audio, leave us a rating or a review. Helps us grow the show, and we'll see you next episode. Peace.